I wonder if I have enough yet. My basket's nearly full. Oh, I'm frightened. It's beginning to get dark. I should probably follow the trail of breadcrumbs back home. Where did they go? They were right here just a minute ago. Maybe they're over here. Oh no, I can't find them. How could this be? It was probably the birds. Oh, those horrid creatures. No, I'm lost. I'll never find my way back home again. Well, perhaps I shouldn't blame the birds. They're probably just as hungry as I am. I wonder if the wolves are as very hungry as I am. What do wolves eat again? Oh, well, they probably eat nuts and berries just like I do. Oh, well, I should probably go to sleep and try to keep warm. Oh, it's morning. Where did all these leaves come from? It was probably the wolves. Oh, this sure looks like it might lead somewhere important. There's a cottage in the mist. Perhaps whoever lives there can show me the way back to the village. Oh, it's made of sweets and chocolate and sugar. Oh, how lovely. I should try a piece. Oh, no, I shouldn't. I must have died and ended up in heaven. I really should try some. Empty plate or empty cup, I must keep my courage up. I should be brave, that's true. Do you recall a little song we sang when things were going wrong? I do. Do you? I do. Maybe the day is cloudy and gray and gloom is everywhere, but I'm much too happy dancing to care. I'll get along though everything's wrong and trouble's in the air, but I'm much too happy dancing to care. Will worry solve the problem? It won't. The thing to do with worry is don't give in to it. So many brave, I'll never complain or shout it isn't fair, 'cause I'm much too happy dancing to care. I'll never get downhearted and fret because the cupboard's bare, 'cause I'm much too happy dancing to care. I'll never sigh for cookies and pie when we have none to spare, 'cause I'm much too happy dancing to care. I'll let my troubles go to my feet. I'd rather keep on dancing than eat. Well, practically. So let the grumps remain in the dumps, but me, I won't be there, 'cause I'm much too busy walking on air and much too happy dancing to care.
story of the gingerbread man. How I was baked, chased down to a river, and eaten by a clever fox? Well, good. That's what you were supposed to believe. I was just fine with that until recently, but now it's time for the truth to come out. It all started one day a few years back. I spent my youth on the farm with the little old man and the little old woman. Back then, our neighbors were the farmers. Now, you see, the farmers had a number of odd incidents happen, but they were mostly attributed to Mrs. Farmer's clumsiness and absent-mindedness, which were widely known at the time. First, there was Humpty Dumpty's mysterious fall. Then there was that time that Jack and Jill fell down the hill. Things really started to get bad when the 4 and 20 blackbirds were baked into a pie. But all that changed one day about 5 years ago. That's when the events that lead up to my secret life began. One morning, I was just sitting on the windowsill in my cookie jar, minding my own business, when all of a sudden I heard a really mysterious noise. It seems the 3 blind mice had been blindly wandering around and found their way into Mrs. Farmer's kitchen. Well, I tried to ignore it as long as possible, but when I heard the banging of pots and pans, I just had to look. So I quietly lifted the lid to my cookie jar, and what I saw before me was mayhem. The poor mice were stumbling around everywhere, crashing into everything, and there, holding their canes and laughing, was Mrs. Farmer. Well, I immediately jumped back into my cookie jar so she wouldn't see me. Now, the little old man and little old woman warned me not to tell anyone, but when the canes were found under Little Boy Blue's haystack, I knew I had to come forward. So I called up Foxy Loxy, the detective, and told him what I knew. But the little old man and little old woman were right. I got nothing but trouble for my efforts. The next day, there was a note in a cookie jar left on the doorstep, and this is what it said. Watch yourself, Cookie. Sometimes when you try to take a bite out of crime, crime takes a bite out of you. Don't get dunked. Well, the little old man and little old woman were really upset. So they called up Foxy Loxy and he made up a plan. The next day, I packed up all of my things and ran out the door. Well, the little old man and little old woman chased after me, shouting, "No, don't leave us!" Now, you've probably heard stories where there was a cow and a horse and a pig and a bear, and a lot of things were reported. Not many were true. You see, I was chased down to the river and Foxy was waiting for me. First, I rode on his tail, then his back, then his head. But nobody knew that he had a cookie jar in his mouth. So I climbed in and he held it under the water so I wouldn't get wet. He took me to another city where I entered into the witness protection program. So you see, no one tried to eat me. I mean, who would want to eat stale gingerbread that's as old as I am? A few years later, I was able to return from the witness protection program and move back in with the little old man and little old woman. And we plan on living happily ever after.
Hang all the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas, and as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me, yeah. Presents and cards are here, my world is filled with cheer and you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes outshine the town that you. This Christmas, fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me, yeah.
Who's that I see walking in these woods? Why, it's Little Red Riding Hood. Hey there, Little Red Riding Hood. You sure are looking good. You're everything a big bad wolf could want. Ow! Little Red Riding Hood. I don't think a little big girl should go walking in these spooky old woods alone. Ow! What big eyes you have, the kind of eyes that drive wolves mad. So until we get to Grandma's place, I think you ought to walk with me and be safe.
What big teeth you have, sure to lure someone back.
So until we get to Grandma's place, I think you ought to walk with me and be safe. I'm gonna put my sheep suit on until I'm sure that you've been shown that I can be trusted walking with you alone. Ow! I mean bad. Bad. A party? What do you say to a side trip?